What are you doing here? Get back, you!
Suicide, tragedy and poltergeist await the most haunted team in Nottinghamshire.
Is that okay?
Hello and welcome to Most Haunted. The building behind me dates back to 1156 and has seen its fair share of tragedy, from murder to suicide. The bubonic plague ravaged this area in the 14th century, and many of its victims are buried in the church grounds next door. So with such a rich history of pain and death, it's no wonder that so many ghosts roam Annesley Hall.
Lying 13 miles north of Nottingham and against the backdrop of Sherwood Forest, this Grade 2 listed building is now just a shadow of its former self. William the Conqueror first bestowed the hall to a fellow Norman, and a succession of lords has since followed, including a notable connection to a legend of literature, Lord Byron. The village that once stood nearby was demolished late in the 19th century, and having left family hands in 1973, the hall stood empty until the fateful September day in 1997, when fire ravaged the main building, leaving the empty shell that remains to this very day.
This is a very, very haunted place. It's branded as one of the most haunted places in the whole of Nottinghamshire. And there are so many different sites, so many places, that we're going to have our work cut out tonight. But it is an ideal ghost hunter's paradise. The place is more or less derelict. There was a fire which obviously burnt a lot of it down, and they've rebuilt the roof, but you can still see the remains, the charred remains of the staircases and the panelling. I have great expectations for this place. I think that things are definitely going to happen to us, because this has a good track record of hauntings.
Here in the dining room, paranormal activity is rife. A figure of a white lady is often seen here, along with the sounds of music playing when there's no one here at all. But perhaps most alarmingly is that of poltergeist activity. Objects have been lifted up and thrown across the floor. And in Byron's bedroom, many people have witnessed being pushed out of the room with a great force by unseen hands. A young girl hanged herself here in the laundry, and ever since then her ghost has been seen walking underneath the spot where she died.
The building's just behind me. I saw a figure at one of the windows when we were having a party one night. I'd been sent across for some champagne, and I saw this figure at the window come running back to all and said I'd seen someone in the mews. And of course they laughed and said, like I'd seen too many Dracula films. But I was told next day by the old fellas I work with, as there had been other people seeing this ghost here, and it was the ghost of a maid as hung herself and next to the old dairy.
This is the library room where many people would have spent hours reading and relaxing. To this day, people often hear the sound of murmuring, along with the strong smell of cigar smoke. Strange knocking and scraping noises are often heard down here in the cellar, as if someone is trying to attract attention.
Of course, there was the story related to the bones as were dug up, and they were putting electricity into the old hall. And of course, these bones were carbon dated back to 1600s, and there had been a maid missing at that particular time, and she had been heavily pregnant. I've heard her in there, people seen her and photoed her as though she sits outside a fireplace holding this baby as she never had.
So how does parapsychologist Kieran O'Keefe feel that our investigation will progress, given that the hall's grand appearance starkly contradicts its empty core?
When we investigate derelict properties, how does that differ with another property that has furniture in it, it's warm, it's got pictures on the wall?
In other locations you may get clues, you may get the paintings and the furniture, and it gives some indication of era, and it builds up a huge suggestion effect for the sort of ghosts that people think they actually see. In a derelict location like this, there isn't any suggestion effect in terms of furniture or any other clues. However, because it is derelict, because it is very old, and like you say, it just has that scary feel about it, there's another sort of suggestion effect kicking in, and I think it means that the adrenaline and just the fear factor of being here is going to be a lot higher than some of the other locations we've been in.
What about the stories of people have been harmed, you know, their faces have been scratched? What do you think to that?
I think that's really intriguing. One, because there aren't a lot of objects actually in here to be thrown, so maybe the focus of poltergeist activity is going to be interaction, so scratches, and I believe people have had their neck burnt or some red marks on their necks. So at least we're looking at some sort of physical evidence. If people do report being touched, if they do report any burning sensation, the camera would be able to pick that up, and that would be concrete evidence of some sort of poltergeist activity.
We have invited spiritualist medium Derek Akora and psychic David Wells to join us in Nottinghamshire. But what could we expect from the ruins that lie around us? And how much ancestral past would we encounter at Annesley Hall?
I was aware of it when I first come to this location, of this like secrecy. And a moment ago, I'm getting this, which has happened before, this like an intent of blockage.
That's not a good sign.
No, it's not. So I'm going to say that we've always experienced whenever this blockage comes in, it's like as if they're reserving their energy, okay, to really, really push for it when we're not expecting it. This is the type of group thought that's around us here now at the moment.
Where do you feel you want to go? Which direction?
Actually, I'd like to go into there, maybe, because I've not walked into there, but I seem to be drawn in there.
So when you feel drawn somewhere,
yes.
Is it a voice that's telling you to sort of come into this room?
Well, sometimes, you know, I can get that voice link, but 9 times out of 10, it's on the psychic level, it's just like, it's, you know, pulling me to go. And since coming into this atmosphere, here we go, I'm getting someone, a gentleman, a spirit man, who I can't say whether he's active at this moment, but as we come into the energies, it could be coming from the residual. Without a doubt, the first name is William. There's no two ways about that. William. And I feel also there's ladies' energies here as well. Now, I'm getting also a lot of tears. And the William is if he's around the tears, and as if I would just want to walk round and say, oh, you know, stop it, you know, that sort of attitude from him, with the woman's tears.
Is it just one woman, or are there many?
No, I feel there's a group of women, but there's one woman who's absolutely bereft. She's absolutely distraught, and she can't settle because he took the child's life away. He killed the child. He slaughtered the child here. And she's not rested. She's not rested, and she wants everyone to know who did this.
What time period would you say this would have happened in?
Can you help me with that, Sam? Put it mentally to me. It looks like 1685. 1685. Yes. I get the name Isobel. Isabel.
And you think that's her?
Yes. Is that who she is? Isabel. Bella. Isabel. And she is up and down around the building, and she called him a beast. She's called him a beast for what he did. I feel this was a boy child.
Do you feel that this Isabel and William were married?
There was a connection, Ivy. That's all I can get at the moment. There was a connection with these two. And oh, he blinded the boy.
You blinded him?
He blinded him first. Oh, my God. He took his eyes out. Oh, God, you barbaric.
Is this William got a surname?
I keep on asking him, we'll get him.
Yeah.
We will get him.
Does he visit here, or is he gone?
He comes here.
So he does?
Yeah. I feel the torment of the lady that probably brings her back a lot. She died young. She died young.
Where do you want to move now?
Yes,
Because if
can
we
we
keep
just-
walking, you
yes,
might be able to pick
okay,
more
okay.
information up.
Every family abode witnesses both good and bad times, but Derek's sensing of a murderous man called William gave us all an early indication that Annesley Hall may not be quite as homely as we had all first thought. Eager to obtain more information about this evil character, we move through to the entrance hallway.
Now, just as we come here into this area, although I didn't see a spirit presence or the spirit body, I'm aware of a man that was up the far end here. And he's just the old leather and whatever he did, and a really unkempt sort of man, as he's shown himself. And also I'm getting with him, I'm getting this like short temper, I'm getting impatience and stuff, and I feel he would show that at this level at times. That is not William. This is a separate spirit man altogether. I feel he would have dealt with, I smell actually, would you believe it, blood. It's not human blood, but it's like when animals are slaughtered. Right. And I'm also getting tending of horses as well. And I feel he'd be one of them that will step out tonight to try and unease us. I really do. I feel he'll try to unease us.
God. Okay.
The stairwell, the stairwell, the stairwell. Can we go to a stairwell?
Yeah.
A house that appears to have more than one association with death. But if we are dealing with both animal and human bloodshed, what other dangers await us as we head further into the depths of Annesley Hall?
Shit! That was a step.
Our splendid Nottinghamshire location may initially exude a stately charm, but any such feelings of affluence are soon replaced with discomfort once we enter its desolate floors. With Derek already sensing two malicious male energies on the ground floor, we move to the stairwell in the hopes of encountering a more sincere soul.
Yes. As we come to these energies here, okay, I feel as if whether it's here at this actual stairwell or whether there's been another stairwell, but it's like as if I'm getting this horrible feeling of a reactment, and I wouldn't be at all surprised whether this young boy up and down these stairs at times in, okay, I know he's truly in the world of spirit time, but he comes back in the memory of it, and I feel as if he's got a very strong connection for some reason, wanting to link around a stairwell. The memory, the memory, the memory.
Maybe did he play on the stairs?
Did he play the stairs? He's up and down the stairs, he's up and down the stairs, he's up and down the stairs. The bones of the boy, they were shifted, they were moved. Can we go a little bit further up, Evie?
That you can see where the... Is that your hand on me?
Yes, my hand, Evie, you okay?
I just felt this pressure here and I thought, my God, that better be you.
Yeah.
The prominence of this very young roaming spirit on both floors of Annesley Hall was making us all feel very uneasy. Worse still, yet another decrepit and desolate space awaited us in the panelled room.
Now, as we come close to this corner here, this energy, it's emitting unhappiness, great feelings of hate, and I want to say here, there's the energy. I know this boy, the energy of this boy would go up here, and for some reason to this area here as well, for some reason. And I wouldn't be at all surprised whether this boy has actually shown himself, or most certainly maybe the screams or the last screams of when this to the eyes took place before he was murdered, and in sheer agony. It's like floods back to him his last moments, and then at easement he realises he's in his spirit body and he can't be hurt anymore, and then he goes out of the atmosphere for a short period of time, but there's a reenactment. This corner here, this panelling, around here, this window, and for some reason here, brings back sad, negative memory.
How old would you say the little boy was when he died?
Oh, he wouldn't have been any older than... I'd say he may have reached 8. He may have been a little bit younger than that.
And the date you were getting downstairs with William was 1685.
16,
Is that what I gave? The same date that the boy...
I feel this is around the time that his life was taken from him.
We seem to be encountering contrasting spiritual energies that appear to be prevalent throughout the building. We were fascinated to see if David Wells would also sense a similar level of activity. So starting in the same area as Derek, Kieran led our guest psychic into the dining room.
What I'm sensing is this female is, she has long hair, very long hair, about here, and she's covered in blood. Nice start.
Yeah,
so she's covered in blood, and I'm trying to think. It seems almost like she's bleeding from more than one place. It's like a wrist and a throat. I might get more of a story as we go on, but she's very dominant.
Feeling that the hall harboured a heightened amount of spiritual activity, and with one particular woman's soul prevalent, David was keen to explore further along the ground floor.
This feels like his space, a bit more like his space. See if I can get any names. It's like an Edward or an Edmund, that kind of name, Edward, Edmund. Very much an energy that's, well, this, you know, what's mine is mine and what's yours is mine as well, you know. So this is not someone who would share. I'm now getting a bit of voice. So he's saying to me, you know, I built this from nothing. I built this place from nothing, is what he's saying. So I built this place from nothing, and therefore I have every right to say what goes on under my roof.
Okay.
This was our second independent reference to a dominant male presence within these ancient walls, and David remained convinced that more unrest might lie in wait upstairs.
It's above here. There's nothing above here apart from a roof, because I want to be up there with her, although we can't get there, so I'm just going to try and communicate with her here.
We haven't been above there. There may be a roof, but we haven't been above here today.
I don't think we can. We can go above.
All right, well, I'll just, I mean, she will know that, I'm sure, but let me just try and communicate with her. It's a bedroom. It feels like a bedroom scene. I'm trying to ask her, this blood, I want to get to the bottom of this blood. And I think her husband stabbed her. Her husband killed her. And he didn't stab her, he really stabbed her.
Would this have been a murder that was planned?
No, my instinct would say it was spontaneous. It was spontaneous.
Right.
It's a discovery, you know, it's a discovery of her unfaithfulness. She's been unfaithful. It's a discovery of that. The name that's coming is Elizabeth. Eliza, Lizzie, you know, a shortened version of Elizabeth.
Right.
For some reason, she's put into my head also the timing. It's Halloween, it's around October time. But she showed me also full moon, which is a symbol for madness.
In the hope of providing either William or Elizabeth with an outlet to communicate further, we switch our cameras to night vision and decide to hold a séance in the east bedroom. But would either of these contrasting souls, or indeed anyone else, choose to step forward?
If you need help or want help or wish to talk to somebody, please, please come forward. We don't mean you any harm. Please, Elizabeth. This is your chance.
Whoa.
What's the matter?
She's trying to get into me. I can't.
All right.
Yeah, I'm fine. Just keeping her out. She's really strong.
Is that in response to what we're saying?
I think so, yeah. Her hands are right in my arms. I can't...
Ask her to try and move the table, David. Ask her to do something.
Elizabeth, please try and move the table. I can feel your pain. I understand your sorrow. I can feel you really close to me. Knock on the table. Use my energy. Use all the energy here.
Oh, what was that?
Say.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That was from underneath.
Yeah.
Thank you, Elizabeth. If that was you, could you do it again, please? Please knock on the table for yes.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, good.
Thank you.
Unlike previous experiments, any energies present appeared to be communicating through a variety of knocks and vibrations. Although these subtle movements may not be distinct on camera, everyone in the circle could feel this sensation.
Elizabeth, are you still with us? William, are you here?
Derek?
Right,
Derek,
okay.
Derek, you all right? Derek, you okay?
Yes,
Derek,
I'm
Derek,
okay.
Derek,
I'm all right.
Derek, don't let
He's
go.
got his energy's got me back now.
All right.
It's okay.
You all right?
Yeah, I'm okay. I'm in control of this.
Yeah.
Step it
Get
back, son.
down.
Step it back. Step it back, please. Stepping back.
Okay.
Allow the lady to speak. Allow the lady to speak, you.
Elizabeth, can you hear me?
Let her come forward.
Elizabeth, come forward. Come forward, Elizabeth. Come on, we're here for you, Elizabeth. Don't be scared. Can you hear me? Did you feel that?
Yes, yes.
Can you hear me? You mustn't be scared of William. Come away from him.
Step closer again, Elizabeth. Don't be afraid. He cannot harm you. Once he knows you've got no fear. Thank you. Step forward, love. Come on. You're most welcome. I know you're not going to do any harm to me. Step forward.
Can you hear me, Elizabeth?
Yes.
Yes. Do you wish to leave here, Elizabeth?
Take him away.
Take William away.
Take, please. Take him away.
Is he with you now?
He's here. He's here.
Okay.
He's the devil.
He's the devil.
He's the devil. He's the devil.
Leave Derek's body, but stay with us. Leave Derek's body now, Elizabeth, but stay with us, and we'll protect you. Derek? Derek? Derek?
Okay.
You all right?
Yes, I'm okay, Abby.
Okay.
She's a sweet soul. She's a sweet soul.
Elizabeth? Elizabeth, are you still here?
Come on, love.
Elizabeth? Please, Elizabeth, I ask you not to leave us, please.
By day, a quaint and rural retreat, but at night, a dark and dangerous domain. The precarious state of Annesley Hall means that we must all tread very carefully indeed. But more worryingly, as our séance continued, we were all left wondering if this building's compassionate souls would prevail in the face of violent and evil intent. Our investigation at Annesley Hall had started to unearth some interesting but equally disturbing facets regarding the history of our Nottinghamshire location. Our séance in the East Bedroom had already been briefly interrupted by a genteel spirit called Elizabeth. But if she was wary of another spiritual presence, who else looms within this atmosphere?
Is there a spirit here, please, now? If Elizabeth, if you are here, please tap on this table. Elizabeth, please let us know you are here.
What was that?
What?
I think it was somebody walking.
Upstairs.
Oh,
What?
Yes.
There's someone
It was
above us.
above. Yes.
that upstairs as well.
It was above, yeah.
It sounded like something scraping above us.
Yeah.
Could it be a rat?
No. No, there it was again, wasn't it?
Please let us know you are here. Please let us know you are here. Please try and move this table. Please try and move this table. Please try and move this table. Elizabeth, if you can hear me, please try and move this table. What the hell
Hear
is
that?
Mm,
That was a
it's not
scrape
on
in the
table,
book.
no.
That's not moving.
That's the table as well.
The table's going as well.
Is
Yeah,
it?
yeah.
Please try
something
and move
moved
this
there.
table. Please try and move this table. Come forward. What the hell is that?
That was another again.
The distinct sound of movement, possibly heavy footsteps, could be heard directly above us. But a devastating fire 7 years ago has long since rendered the hall's 3rd floor inaccessible. Yet something still seemed to be up there.
Is there any spirits in this room with us?
Have they gone?
No, they're still around.
They're still around.
They're still around. Isn't
Oh, it's so
He's
cold.
blocking here, he's blocking it, he's preventing it, he's stopping it.
William, if you can hear my voice.
Oh, and again.
William, if you can hear my voice. You're obviously scaring Elizabeth. You're obviously a strong man, or you were a strong man before you died. Please do us the honour and let us know that you can hear my voice by moving this table, please, William. William? Can you hear my voice? If you can, please try and move this table, William. Or are you too much of a coward, William?
Coward! Coward! You! Coward!
William.
Dare speak to me, you!
Is that you, William?
Leave me alone now. Out! Don't belong here.
William.
Just leave me
William.
alone.
William.
Elizabeth,
Do you know how many...
told you!
Can you see us all here?
I told you!
Can you see
I
us all,
told
William?
you!
William?
Step back.
William! William! We are friendly. Now you are, at this present moment, you are in the body of Derek.
What are you doing here?
We are here to try and communicate with you, William. Now please, William, no one means you any harm, and you are in a body of a very good friend of mine. You mustn't do him any harm either. Now why are you here? William? William? William, how did you die? How did you die, William? How did you die?
Died.
Do you know you're dead?
Died.
Do you know you're dead?
Some foolery. Died.
Do you still...
I live on. I live on.
William, you don't.
Get back, you! Lady! Elizabeth.
Derek, come forward. Derek, come forward.
This possession by the belligerent male spirit that Derek had identified as William showed that he was seemingly intent on making his presence known before the night was through. The most desolate area amongst the eerie ruins of Annesley Hall is the basement cellar. Ready to start the night vigils and unperturbed by reports of orbs and inexplicable noises, Carl decided to head down there and go it alone.
Is anyone down here? What the hell was that? Right, now I've got to... I'm going to go around the other side of this just to... Shit! Shit! Oh, Christ. Sorry, I've got my torch on because I'm getting scared. There's no one... Right, there's nothing here. Certainly no one hiding behind any of this. There's noises coming all from around here. Turn your light off, Carl. It's really, it's so dark in here, you can't see anything. I've got a torch, but I'm trying to turn it on. fuck was that? Shh. Shh. It came from here. It definitely came from here. Right, there's a hole. Is it wise to take the hole up? Right, okay. Right, I'm gonna move this. Right, I can't see a great deal, but what's under there? God, Bennett, the stench! Ooh. There's movement, there's definitely movement coming from that. If you are here, and you're the poltergeist that's been witnessed down here, or you're one of the entities that have been seen down here. Shit! That was a step, that was definitely a step. Where the... Where? It was over here, it was definitely over here. I really feel like somebody's with me. I feel like I'm really not comfortable. But I'm going to stay down here for a bit longer. Crying out there, what was that? That was a sight. I heard a... Are you here? Are you really here? Are you my imagination? Are you my wishful thinking? Crying out loud, that wasn't my wishful thinking. There's footsteps and they're coming from here. Crying out loud. Crying out loud. Right, that's it. There's definitely something down here. I've tried to... Fuck, it's still down there. I can't... Look, there is nothing. I've got my torch on. I can't focus on anything. There's no one else down here with me. No one. No one at all. Is that me again? That's it, okay.
Still a little uneasy after seemingly sharing the cellar with some form of spiritual energy, Carl decided to immediately enlist the help of Stuart, and they made their way towards the Great Hall, the recent scene of poltergeist activity.
I think the problem we've got up here is that you've got a draft coming through, so if the temperature was to drop, you wouldn't know about it because it's so cold anyway.
Yeah.
Hence having all these layers on. Plus you've got the noise coming through as well because, like I said, there's no windows. Plus you've got the odd hole in the roof as well, so... Yeah. Lord Byron, come on Lord Byron. Show us yourself. Show yourself to us. If you're here. Come on Lord Byron. If anyone's here. What was that?
If anyone's here. If anyone's here.
You've got this glass here. You've got bits on the outskirts, surrounding outskirts. Look. If that was you, please try to either do it again or show us that you're here. Just make a noise.
We were becoming increasingly hopeful that some form of manifestation was a real possibility. But we needed definite answers, and unbeknownst to us at the time, that eventuality lay just around the corner.
Stopped.
While the rest of Nottingham sleeps, the most haunted crew continue their investigation of nearby Annesley Hall. Carl, Richard and Alex headed over to the slaughterhouse, which lies at the base of the clock tower. But for these three intrepid investigators, their night of adventure was about to stretch beyond any feasible expectations.
Is there someone here? There's a young girl here who's trying to make contact with us. Girl that hanged herself here in this building.
Wow.
Wow, it's really cold.
It's gone freezing cold here.
Really cold.
Are you with us? Can you make contact with us, whoever you are? Is it Elizabeth? Is it Isabel? Isabella?
Ooh.
Okay, come on.
What was that? It just touched me.
Something just touched my hand. Something definitely just touched my hand.
Really?
Isabel, are you there? You're working with us, you're making contact. Can you do something else? Preferably not to me. Elizabeth, are you there? Isabel, are you there? Isabella, can you hear us?
It's really cold.
It's freezing.
It is. I tell you what, it's good. That's not a wind cold.
No.
That is just. That's like biting icy cold.
Isn't it?
Isabella, are you there? Are you here? If it was you that touched me, please try to do it again. Just touch my hand. Please.
Please move something. Touch one of those. Do
Ooh.
something.
Wow. I don't know what it is. It's gone through just between you two. It looked like a really, really bright orb. It floated upwards. You alright?
Cheers, yep. In. What?
Fucking hell.
Right.
Did you hear that?
Yeah, I
What did
heard
it sound
that.
like to you?
I
Movement.
Really, yeah.
It sounded like movement, like somebody walking.
Yeah. Hello?
That was really scary.
Someone there? Elizabeth? Isabel? Anyone else whose name we don't know?
Sure, I thought it heard a little murmur.
I heard a moan.
Come and join us. Come talk to us.
Freezing up here.
It's gone really cold again up here.
We want to talk to you. You have to make contact with us. Please.
It's not very. It's a bit spooky up here, isn't it?
Good enough.
Clock's behind me.
Please, if there's anyone hearing us. I just feel like I'm not alone.
I haven't ever since we've been in the place.
If there's anything you can do, Elizabeth, try to stop this clock, even for a second.
What?
Elizabeth! It stopped.
Oh, you're joking. Listen, I was here to play.
It started again. I just asked it to stop, and it started again. And I've got it on camera. I've got it on camera.
It stopped. You asked it just to stop for a brief second.
But I've got it on camera. I've got the workings here on camera, and it stopped, albeit for however long.
Whoa, quite a few ticks.
Seconds, yeah.
That's good. And it's not stopping again, is it?
No.
Wow, that's good.
Elizabeth, it must be Elizabeth, mustn't
It is,
it?
yeah.
Elizabeth, if that's you, thank you so much. Thank you.
Make a noise by tapping something.
Ask her to stop this clock again. See if she can do it.
Right,
I'm
Elizabeth, you've done it once.
filming the whole clock.
There are ways I know that spirits can interact with timepieces especially. This is an old clock. Please stop the clock again.
Come on, sweetheart.
Stop the clock and let us know that you're with us. Elizabeth, you are fantastic.
It stopped. It has actually stopped.
You are the business. Elizabeth, thank you. You've done it. You've stopped it. Now start it again.
Come on, Elizabeth.
Can you start the clock again? We know that the spirits have ways of interacting with timepieces. Please. You have to start it again.
It stopped, and it's actually moving, but it's not ticking. There's no one else in here, is there?
No. Anybody here? Anybody in here with us?
It starts again. It's going. There's definitely some movement up here.
Come on, Elizabeth, keep going. Keep going, kid, you're doing well.
Gordon Bennett, I could have sworn someone was right there. Really? But it sounded like footsteps. Like that.
Elizabeth, we know you're here, but the problem is we now need to find out what you want. If you want to interact with us and you want to speak to us, and you want to answer our questions, then tap on something once. Tap once for yes. Talk to us!
Shit, fucking shit. What the f was that? Oh, fuck. Fuck. Fuck.
Oh. Is it tree? How are you up there?
I have never in my life been so scared in such a short amount of time. I'm ready to come down now.
Can I come down now, please?
Yeah, can I come down now, Dad? Gordon Bennett.
Yeah.
Oh, my mum's going to be so upset with me for swearing so much.
You all right?
Oh,
Sorry about that.
Joe, that absolutely scared me to death.
Think it's time to go?
Yeah.
Yeah, time to go. Short, hot, sharp, exit.
Throughout every Most Haunted investigation, we use a variety of experiments in our attempts for any possible spirits to make their presence known. Although our appeals sometimes fail to gain a significant response, Carl, Richard and Alex were in no doubt that something had reacted positively in the clock tower. Earlier, Richard had toured the servants' quarters where he witnessed a full winding of this same clock. This only added to the possible evidence that had been witnessed elsewhere in the building. We captured several light anomalies, and an MP3 recorder in the Regency room picked up these mystifying noises. Despite many hours of analysing the noise, none of us was sure exactly what was responsible for the sounds. All of which left the crew extremely excited by our 24 hours at Annesley Hall.
Well, we've just done 24 hours in absolutely typical derelict haunted house. It was absolutely fantastic. We decided that we'd go up to the clock tower, to the area where the young girl's been seen, the one that hanged herself. We got this awful sense that there was 4 of us, and yet of course there was only 3 of us. Then we went upstairs to the clock tower, and one of the best things that's ever happened to me, really, because we asked for the clock to stop.
If there's anything you can do, Elizabeth, try to stop this clock, even for a second.
And twice that clock stopped. Only for about 30 seconds, but it stopped on command from us. And I can only imagine that it must have been the spirit of the girl, we believe to be Elizabeth, who actually stopped it.
The clock did actually stop. Now, unfortunately, we're only there for the investigation for a short period of time. It would be very good to set up even maybe a 48-hour period and find out how regularly the clock does just stop and start. However, because the clock was stopping and starting on command, it's a very, very impressive coincidence.
Ravaged by flames, but still standing proud. And for those who still reside at Annesley Hall, it appears that time will never stop. Until next time, sleep tight.
Sir Arthur Conan Doyle once predicted that in the future, all detectives will be clairvoyants. Psychic Detective, only on Living TV.
But stay tuned to Living TV, because coming next, it's Most Haunted Extra.